Welcome to Live at the Blue Box. Welcome to Madeline Con 2017. We've been interviewing people, feels like all day, that are people that you would hear at panels or meet in Artist Alley at Comic-Cons. And we have some special guests here. We've had them on before, but we have new things to talk about.
Yes, we do.
Yes, we do.
And we have old things to talk about, which would be Star Wars, which we talk about every time. Because...
But of course.
Yes, because that's how we roll. So
because it's Star Wars and you don't really need a reason to talk about Star Wars.
No, right. And we can talk about it endlessly. Well, and I'm all hot because we usually do May the 4th here, and we had an awesome plan. We weren't going to do a regular podcast. We were going to show Rogue One and just like do commentary through it.
Oh.
And I had rehearsal.
Rogue One commentary via Blue
Us.
Box? Okay.
I don't know if you want me to do that. I might be a little bit more vulgar than other people.
Yeah, it wasn't going to be. It wasn't going to be Mystery Science. It was just going to be us talking.
Alfie's version would be more like a USA Up All Night version.
What? Oh, really?
Yeah. I wonder.
What are you, the Gilbert Gottfried?
No, I was wondering if she's sweaty running.
Oh, yikes! So introduce yourselves on the end.
My name is Sean Hynes, and I started the costume group Mandalorian Mashups. I'm a little unprepared today because I ran late at work, and I forgot
That's
to
okay.
bring
We're
a
just
helmet.
casual.
I was going to bring a helmet with me today to show off. It was going to be anyway next time.
Next time we'll have opportunities.
Also, part of the new reality show that should
Shh, we're going to talk about that.
Okay.
We're going to talk about that. And you?
My name's Alphie Jimenez. I'm the cohort of the Mandalorian Mashups. Been quiet on the Star Wars front for a little bit. I didn't go to Celebration, but we'll talk about that soon.
Yeah, let's talk about it. So now you can talk about it, Sean. So Sean is on a TV show.
Yes, we
both
produced
are.
and directed by Chris Mock, who did Walkers Among Us, Force Unlimited.
Yes, and if you're a fan of Live at the Blue Box of Southgate Media Group, you know Chris's kind of extended family.
Yeah.
The very first interview I did here at the Blue Box was Chris and Ian.
Oh, nice.
And it was the night they were filming footage for Walkers Among Us at the zombie thing.
Oh, yeah.
Nice. Oh, yeah.
So that's how I met those guys. And then I went to the premiere and I met this guy.
Oh, yeah.
And then this guy brought that guy.
Oh, yeah.
And that's how it happened.
Oh, yeah.
Now I can't shake that guy. Every time I go to a con, there he is.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Rob, what's up? Yeah.
With you as always is Garth.
Right.
Yeah. That's it.
Right.
But so
you're on this show.
yeah,
Tell us
so
about
we've been
the show.
filming the show for the last couple of years. It's finally coming to fruition. It's right now. It's mostly been made available to the Kickstarter supporters, and also the first 4 episodes are available on Chris's Force Among Us, or actually real fans of the Saga Facebook page. You can order and download the first 4 episodes of the series. I got the shirt on here.
Yep.
A little shameless self-promotion here, as you can see.
I have Forrest Whitaker eye.
He's got Forrest Whitaker eye.
Forrest Whitaker eye. Oh.
That's an actual
Who doesn't
term.
want to have a shirt of themselves and walk around with it and promote stuff? But anyhow, it's been a lot of fun to do. It's been challenging to do.
Yeah.
Definitely some drama. Now, I don't want anybody to get the misconception first right out. Let me just get this right out of the gate. People hear the phrase real fans of the Saga. First thing they're thinking, well, who are you to say you're more of a real fan than I am? That's not what this is at all. It's sort of a play on the Real Housewives.
Right.
Okay, so...
It's got the same type of music, too.
Do people actually misinterpret it? Because
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Really? Because when I saw the name, I knew immediately what you were going for. But it could also be I know you guys.
It's mostly people that have never watched The Real Housewives. I'm included in that group, but I
too.
I knew what he was going for because he told me. But so yeah, it's a play on the Real Housewives concept, but with Star Wars fans. So it has nothing to do with us being a better or more real Star Wars fan than anybody else.
You're real people.
There was a bit of controversy that I had started. I didn't even know it. We were at the Sox game, and I was saying, hey, I don't want to. I was saying something about I don't want to see anyone wearing prequel costumes, not even Darth Maul. And then people started moaning, oh, how can he's not a real fan? A real fan likes all the. You know what? Stop. We have to come to the conclusion that we don't have to like everything about Star Wars to be Star Wars fans.
Right.
We don't.
Right.
I mean, the prequels aren't. They're,
That's what's funny. I agree with you because I have things I don't like.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
That's
But-
okay. Right.
But if you say you don't like it, a lot of people give you flack. Just as if you say you like it all, I see a lot of people giving flack, and it's
Right.
usually involving the prequels.
Look, there's something
The
like
prequels are very polarizing now.
I didn't mind episode 1 until I saw it in 3D.
what are you pointing at me for?
I went and saw it. My nephew wanted me to go see it in 3D, and I was like, oh, I'd watched it on TV. I saw it in the movies a few times. I'm like, yeah, it's got its flaws, but then I went to see it in 3D, and I thought I was going to die. I hated it so much.
The rewatchability is not quite there.
Gone.
That's that would be episode 2 for me.
Really?
Yeah.
Now,
I don't
we
feel
saw-
the same way about episode 2.
When
like
we
he
saw
does.
episode 2 initially, some of it I loved, some of it I hated. The frolicking in the on the back, I hated it so much.
I've sort of
And then
blocked
the
those
what?
out.
The-
And then
I
we saw it at the IMAX.
The frolicking
Yeah.
in the what?
You know when they're on the
With-
animals
the
and they're having
frolicking
their
Oh,
little
the giant chocolate chip cookie looking thing. Yeah.
garbage. But then
He's on an angle, but yet the animal's on an angle, but he's still straight. Yeah.
Right, because physics.
And then when she floats that fruit into her mouth,
because
and it
even the
disappears.
animator went like, just get through it.
Yeah.
Well, when he forces that little mango into
Yeah.
her mouth and it disappears.
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, the CG
Awful.
mango.
Well, at least the fire was real in the worst scene of the entire movie.
Are we sure?
Wait, which was
about
the worst
that?
scene?
Oh, I'm scarred by the kiss you should never have given me.
Oh my God. Okay, so then we went and saw it a second time because my nephew wanted to go, another nephew, and we saw it at the IMAX. And I surprisingly liked it more. I can tell you why. They gave us that line that IMAX can only have a 2-hour film, so they cut almost that entire frolicking scene out.
Nice.
It wasn't until I saw it again on Blu-ray that I went, oh, I know why I liked it more. It made a huge difference.
Well, that's like episode 1 if you take out anything Gungan.
yeah,
It's actually pretty
awful.
good. It's actually not that bad.
It's some of it.
Yeah.
Some of it. But midichlorians is
No,
Seriously.
you lost the magic of what the
So
Force was.
it's a
growing up.
biological
It-
entity, the Force?
yeah, why? Why? Okay, so
It
anyway.
was better when it was just a mysterious thing that somebody had.
It was
And
way
yeah,
better.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but to find out it's,
Microscopic bacteria.
microscopic
in your
bacteria
cells.
or
Right.
to make you do all these weird things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, garbage. Garbage. And killing off Darth Maul in 2 seconds.
Magic.
Come on.
It's just magic bacteria in your
Right.
cells.
Magic bacteria.
But you know what? After watching Rogue
Kind of
One,
like sea monkeys.
right?
You know.
Oh.
But after watching,
You know what?
Rogue
If I
One-
start thinking of them looking like sea monkeys, I might like the midichlorians more now.
oh yeah, but after watching Rogue One and Force Awakens, the prequels to a degree are almost all intolerable now to me, because everything was so CGI.
Oh, and terrible. Yeah, I agree.
I mean,
Alfie, I'm completely with you.
with the Revenge of the Sith, that whole scene on what's that, on Utica? No, that's a town south of Chicago, by the way. Utapau.
Utapau.
That whole scene with the Blizzard and General Grievous and
Yeah.
just stop. you
Yeah.
know?
Stop.
Oh.
Stop. Yeah.
I'm not as hardcore against it as he is. I enjoyed it mostly because of the Django side of things, but that's just me.
You know what? I agree with you. Django is the best part, and
He's
not
the best
even.
part of that whole movie. He doesn't exactly like the base bomb in the asteroid field, but I like
but
it.
the fight with Django
yeah.
is
It was
great.
pretty good.
Yeah, I mean that stuff's cool. But
The fight with Obi-Wan, not the fight with Mace, because that was
the fight with Obi-Wan.
That was a big
It's
Kennedy.
all about the fight with Obi-Wan.
Ironically, Episode 2 has actually the best theme score of the prequels, though. The Anakin
I'd have to
and
listen
Padme,
again.
And Padme.
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna do it, but their love.
Come on, sing it
their,
out.
Their love theme is actually pretty good.
Did you know tonight you're on Star Wars Idol? Alfie, you're up.
Yeah,
Okay.
there you go. well, Disney's bringing it back, so they may have a Star Wars idol.
Could happen.
Okay.
Yeah, you done?
I just always do the. I do the. You just did the Jawa. I was going to say I always do the Jawa. James.
Speaking of, just really quick, of all the special editions, Return of the Jedi is the worst. They should have left the original song in Jabba's palace.
Yes.
The same, and then the beak.
That's actually.
the beak in the Sarlacc pit.
You don't like Audrey 2 in the Sarlacc pit?
And also there's two major ones, putting Anakin on
Feed
top of
me,
Sebastian
Boba.
Shaw
Yeah.
in hologram, and then the
I didn't-
no Ooh,
Yeah.
again.
Yes.
When he tosses the Emperor off.
I think
the
he
cliff.
did. It's almost like he's doing it just to poke the bear because
Yeah.
it's almost, he keeps adding a no somewhere.
No, the scene when he added in that dance number in Jabba's palace, that was such a break for me that I almost couldn't watch. I saw it in the theater, and I'm like,
when
I,
it
sort of
I think
takes
I
you
need to
out
walk
of
see
it.
the guy's mouth open, and you see
Oh my God!
you see the,
That
you see the
thing- and he goes,
tonsils.
"Oh."
It was better when Saisunu was just a.
I agree.
It
I didn't
completely
mind Boba
takes you
Fett
out of
being in
the
Jabba's
universe.
palace, all that
And-
stuff.
Yeah,
I'm
Boba
like,
Fett talking to the chicks. That's cool. Okay,
I'm all right with it. It was that dance number that was a deal breaker.
Well, it was so
And the-
overproduced.
and-
so overproduced is
And
basically
at the end, deal breaker.
and then the song-
changing the Ewok song,
Yeah.
stupid.
Yes. Yep.
Stupid.
No.
Because those songs all of a sudden sounded like something you would naturally hear.
Right.
From our world here on Earth,
Right.
as opposed to something alien like
Well,
the
I
Ewok
like
song
the,
was,
I like the
or
original, Ewok song when you hear
Slap
the.
Neck.
I like the original Ewok song because you hear the Ewoks, but then it goes into celebrate. They're like, no, celebrate. They're like, whoop whoop. That it goes into that, and it's actually okay. But that Sarlacc pit beak,
The beak.
it was better when it was just a big hole with teeth in it.
It was way better.
and if you're gonna do a beak, make it look like a real beak.
Oh, I guess they had to.
No, it
change-
doesn't look at all like a real. It looks
terrible.
ridiculous.
Well, they were trying to get it away from, I guess, it just looking like a big vagina in the desert. I guess.
You mean,
But why
I wouldn't even
would
go
they do that? I mean,
yeah, you didn't need to enhance it. And
But you know what though? When we first saw it, when I first saw all that stuff, it didn't faze me as much until later.
Right.
It did me.
Because
the changes in Jedi affected me more than anything.
Right.
I
Jedi,
hated them
I agree.
so
in
much.
A New Hope and Empire, they're okay. And when
Empire is very
when
minimal.
when we saw Star Wars: A New Hope and the special edition, the first one, every time we saw it, whoa,
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
oh
Well,
hey,
because it was new Star Wars.
because it was Dash Rendar,
and it was cool. And then when you saw, it was. And then when you saw Empire, I think Empire actually is the one they did right.
well, the Wampa losing his arm, good.
The stuff in Bespin is the part I like.
Right.
When they added windows, it's like
Oh,
that
yeah,
makes
yeah.
so much sense.
And then
It gives it a more grand scale, and then the Wampa, what they could never really quite get right
yep,
the first time.
it's right.
Yeah.
But
instead of the arm and the leg, you see the.
if you'd given them 5 years to make that, 5 more years, Lucas would have made the whole thing CGI.
Yeah.
I'm glad they didn't touch like the AT-ATs or anything like that.
Right. And they could have. I
They
was
could have
afraid
added
of that.
more.
Yeah. I'm glad they didn't. And you know what? I got to say, they got it right in these new ones. In Rogue One, giving us those AT-ATs walking through the water. I know it's not AT-ATs. Those are ATs.
They're cargo.
I
They're
don't
cargo.
Those are amazing. It's like as a fan, I just sit there and go, I could watch this all
They had to
day.
change it up just so they could make a new
But
toy.
it's great.
That's
I'll
all.
buy a cargo AT-AT.
I'm okay with that.
It's fine.
Right.
It's fine.
I don't care if they're trying to sell a toy.
I
If
just-
you're giving me
just-
visuals that look that
I just
good,
want to know when the mini rigs are going to make their first big screen
But
appearance.
who knew that Luke?
The original Kenny mini rigs. I
Right.
want to see those on screen.
I want to see him do the troop transport again.
But
We did that on. Well, that was in Rebels. The remember? Oh, there was that
Did
one.
they do one with the troop transport?
the
'Cause
troop transport? Where they're all on
That
the side
toy was
pocket.
great, and they stand
It
there.
made its appearance on Rebels. Yeah,
But,
or the first season, I think it was.
who knew that Luke Skywalker replaced a fat Chinese pilot? You know,
Right.
I was like, wait, Red Fox.
What?
That's the guy that Luke replaced. My freak out moment in Rogue One was actually 2 in particular. Sean will tell you about the second one. Is when you see the
Forrest Whitaker's eye.
Forrest Whitaker eye. You're here to kill me. No, is the appearance of Red Leader and Gold Leader from stock footage
yeah.
of Episode 4.
Yes.
That was
Yeah.
amazing.
Yes.
That was well
yeah,
done.
you're like the redneck Gold Leader guy. You know,
I agree. That was really
and
great.
they had speaking roles,
And nobody talks about that.
That was huge.
All they talk about
that
is
was
Tarkin
huge
and
because
Leia.
this wasn't
Right.
a spin-off. This was a direct
Yes.
predecessor of Episode 4. Once you see those guys,
Yep.
because they had dialogue,
Yep.
and they changed the background so it looked like they're part of the movie because it was
Yep.
blue
It
screen.
was good
I
enough
thought
that
it
you
was
bought
flawless.
it.
I thought it was
I did
flawless.
too.
Great. That was a freak out moment for me because now this is directly connected to Episode
Yep.
4, and then
Right.
and then at the very end, I'm the only one in the theater goes, "Oh my God, it's Princess Leia!"
Yeah.
He was
And this guy's
he was pretty loud. I'm like,
Yeah.
dude.
because you know what, and also I'm a big vehicle guy. I was elbowing Sean every time the vehicle. Oh
Every
my
time
God.
we saw
Oh,
the classic
right.
vehicles,
You're like,
the X-wing,
you're like,
the
stop hitting me.
Because he's all about the vehicles.
You know what? For me, it actually is too. It's all about the vehicles.
Well, and
I
that's
love
what
them
made
in
Rogue
that.
One so exciting because it took the dogfights to the next level. I thought
Right.
that we all loved watching.
Was
was
it emotionally as involved or as perilous and dangerous as Return of the Jedi? No, but the footage was fantastic.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I loved it. And I loved 7. It's weird. Everybody loved 7 now. I hear a lot of backlash about it. I don't get it.
The initial backlash was the fact that it was
It's the same story.
It was the same story as A New Hope.
I mean,
but you know what?
I love it,
Unlike
though.
the prequels, Force Awakens is very rewatchable.
Yes.
You know, as opposed to, I mean,
I'm not picking out the flaws.
No,
I'm waiting for things.
I'm just,
and Kylo Ren is awesome.
it kickstarted the series back again. It brought back the flavor, brought back the
And
excitement.
I can't wait to see what they do next.
It would have been better if Starkiller Base if they just broke it instead of blowing it up, so it still exists.
Yeah.
So it's not a complete blueprint of Episode 4.
Right.
Just break it. Don't blow it up.
Yeah.
I have
it
one
was pretty
theory.
cool.
That would have worked.
Because it is pretty cool. It's a Force
Yeah.
space station.
I did like that, though, what they were building there. And I know everyone's like, but it's the same thing. It's like, I kind of didn't feel like it was. I felt like it was an evolution of what they've tried. It makes sense. You try something and you build on it.
Yeah.
This is the evolution. They've made a planet now.
Speaking of building on things, the one thing that I thought of, just something that kind of came to me thinking about it afterwards, they sort of had a bit of a missed opportunity. You know, the whole reveal of Vader as being Luke's father in Empire. Okay, I feel like they
Wait a minute.
They jumped too soon, revealing who Kylo Ren was. With Snoke saying you're his father, Solo.
You thought so?
I do, because think about how more dramatic it would have been if you didn't learn who Kylo Ren was until the minute Solo steps onto the rail and says Ben. If that was,
But you know why? That's one of those that I think.
where you didn't see his face until he takes his helmet off on the bridge.
But I think the audience would, because I knew that he was going to be his son the whole time. Like from the minute they showed, I'm like, that's going to be Luke. Or that's going to be Han and Leia's
Well, that was
son.
always the rumor.
They need to work on some foreshadowing because as soon as you see a walkway with no railings, someone's going to die.
Someone's going to die.
Over a long corridor,
And there's a good chance
never-ending.
a hand is
Yeah, because
going
Star Wars
somewhere.
has a lot of those rooms, those big, vast crevasses.
Yeah. If
When
you
there's a
had-
walkway with no railing, someone's falling off this.
Don't go on that
And
bridge.
Did you say that about real
Do
life?
not go on that bridge over
And
the big crevasse. It is not going to end well for
when
you.
you see Han and Kylo, and then Sean's like, oh my god, this is it. Oh my god, this is it. I'm going. There's no crying in this movie, and I'm
Yeah.
like, I knew he was gonna die, but Sean was a lot more upset than I was. I was
Well,
just
of
like,
course.
you know,
I was upset
course.
in that scene.
Think of all the guys-
And I knew what was going
First
to
of all-
happen. I knew the whole thing, and I was going,
You just did. You knew it was going to happen. You didn't want it to happen, but you knew it was going to happen.
admittedly, and I don't know if you, I don't, a lot of people agree with me in this.
I'm not crying. You're crying.
I think Rogue One action-wise was great, but I think Force Awakens had more feels.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
You're not as emotionally attached to Rogue One, even though it's awesome.
Especially in the hologram scene and when she grabs the lightsaber from Kylo Ren.
Yes.
Yeah, you're like, oh,
Yes.
she's a Jedi.
All right. Swell. The music
All right.
hits.
So what they did leave us with was who's Rey? Who's Rey? Doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't really
Porkins'
matter.
granddaughter.
Porkins. That would be awesome. That would be awesome.
You're like, what?
You know how they could have done a foreshadowing of that? Yeah. If whenever she shows up, they're like, I smell like chicken or something.
Pork rinds.
I haven't put this
Ew,
together.
this lightsaber's greasy. My father gave me this lightsaber.
I haven't put it together, but I thought there was some sort of rumor that the helmet that Rey puts on in their home planet is one of the helmets in Rogue One, like one of the. But I didn't see the pattern. But that
don't
would have
know.
been. But
Well, the pattern it was the Rebel Alliance
but if it
logo.
was like
At
someone-
first, I thought it was Luke's.
But if it was like someone's helmet from like Episode 4 or Rogue One, that would have baked a lot of noodles. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So
Yeah.
But I don't think I look back. I didn't see the same pattern on anyone's helmet.
Interesting.
Well, I mean, that helmet must have been left over from whatever the Battle of Jakku was. You know.
No. Jakku.
Yeah, the big rumor is that it's Leia's kid, and not even Han and Leia's kid. I hear it's
Just
Leia's
Leia's kid.
daughter, and so we don't know with who, if it's Han or what. But that's why the Force is in her. That's why the thing called to her and everything, and that's why she was abandoned there because it was protecting her. But I don't know if I think that's awesome or if I think that's cheap.
So Han Solo has an Eskimo twin.
Has a what?
Has an Eskimo twin.
An Eskimo
Could
twin?
be. Could be.
Well, wasn't there a reveal in the Marvel comics that Han had a wife?
Yes. And that's
So-
canon, too. They've said that is canon.
Okay, so I mean, I don't know if that's going to play into it, or if that was maybe that
What
could
do you
be.
think about it? We're going to find out in just under 6 months.
Yes. Now, see, that's just it. If it's
Interesting
Han's
enough,
daughter
think
with
if
somebody else, that doesn't make sense because she's got the Force and everything else, obviously.
Yeah, you're right.
It doesn't make sense to me that
She's
she's
got
Luke's
Force
daughter
powers.
either.
She's got to be related to the Skywalker lineage somehow.
Gotta be.
Because why?
I mean, right. Well,
yeah.
you know, somehow obviously someone was protecting her. Someone ditched her on that ship. That's a scene that got
Obi-Wan.
me when she saw herself
I've
as
heard
a little
that theory,
girl.
yeah.
I was like, oh my god.
Oh, yeah, feels. Yeah. And how about, speaking of gear, how about the wrecked AT-AT on the planet, and or when she's in the Star Destroyer?
Right.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Good stuff.
I
Well, I didn't realize that the goggles that she had
Well,
were.
I know Alfie's always said this too. That scene, was it where she's speeding across and you see everybody walking in the
Yeah.
sunset? That's like
Yes.
a pure Star
that
Wars
felt
moment.
Star Wars to me.
Yeah, that's so Star
Well,
Wars.
That's the first scene in The Force Awakens that felt Star Wars to me. Yeah, when it's going across the horizon.
Yes.
And you see those nomads walking across the moisture
Yep.
farm. And then there's another one when BB-8's rolling in the desert. You see a little hammerhead pop its eye out.
Yes.
That felt Star Wars to me. Like, oh, here we go. None of this. Squeeze me. You know.
Yeah, that doesn't feel Star Wars to me.
No.
No, that
It
feels
didn't
like Wayne's
even when
World.
I saw it initially. You know what did? Remember the trailer before Episode 1 came out? They had the trailer, and you saw like the stuff in the mist.
We saw Meet Joe Black. We went to go see Meet Joe Black.
We went to go
just
see Meet
that
Joe
stupid
Black just
trailer.
for that trailer.
Now,
And that trailer felt Star Wars.
Okay.
Before I even knew Star Wars was coming out, I was like, this is a Star Wars movie. Immediately.
Here's one thing. The prequels, all the trailers felt Star Wars. Why? Is because they used the soundtrack from the trilogy in every one of them.
Oh, that's got to be it.
And that's the thing with Rogue One that kind of bothered me. The only thing I didn't like is it didn't have that Star Wars sound to it. You know, they
Yeah, but you know what? They're trying to separate it. They've said that after this 9th movie, that the Skywalker cycle is done. They're not doing those trilogy films again. So this ends a trilogy of trilogies. So they've got to build this other. Here's how we do standalones. You know they're going to go back to doing trilogy type things, but it's not the Skywalker story arc anymore.
Right. Well, yeah.
might be Jedi
There'll
related,
be
but no
story
Star
arc,
Wars.
trilogy type movies, but again, yeah, like you said, it won't be.
Well, you know what Sean wants to. You know what he.
I'm waiting for this guy.
You're waiting for a Fett
You know.
movie.
You know that's got to happen. It's got to happen.
If they want to make money, it's going to happen.
Yeah. Oh, I wonder if Disney wants to make money. There's the
Yeah,
question.
yeah, exactly.
Well, they made back half their investment on just 2 movies.
Big time. Big
I know.
time.
Remember when they bought it? We did it on This Week in Geek. We were talking about it, and there was all this stuff about what a crazy investment. How long is it going to take to pay that back? And we said, we're like
2 movies.
2
movies.
maybe 3 movies.
Oh,
We're like they could be back in the black in 2 years. And guess
Easily.
what?
Yeah, they did it. Well, it could have went either way, really, when you think about it.
Now, have you guys heard about, speaking of TV shows, I keep hearing the rumor, Lucas had that 100-episode thing.
Yes.
The live action.
Thankfully
Yes.
didn't happen.
Right.
But I've heard rumors of that being kind of resurrected by Disney, but like a complete
there was a rumor
retooling.
that Netflix had struck a deal for that.
But then it was completely retooled.
And it got retooled. And then there was a rumor that it got turned into what's becoming the spin-off movies. So
Okay.
there's really no definitive answer
You
on
haven't heard
that.
anything
It's,
because you went to Celebration,
Right.
I didn't know if you heard anything.
No,
there.
they've pretty much focused on Rebels and the episode and the Last Jedi and the 40th
Han
anniversary
Solo movie.
And
Yeah.
the Han Solo movie, right? Yeah, they
There's going to be a Yoda movie. There's going to be a Fett movie. There has to be. These are stories we want to hear, and it's going to be young Yoda.
How about Leia, her teen years?
Well, what does young
Leia
Yoda look like?
Retainers.
We've already seen him in the prequel. What does exactly
Well,
a
why
young
does
Yoda
Yoda
look
in
like?
Empire-
Well, that's just it. What does a young Yoda look
how
like?
far back do you have to go?
Yeah, but you know what? Why does Yoda in Empire seem so much better than the Yoda prequels?
You know what the young Yoda will be? That will be how they launch the
Also, Knights of the Old
early
Republic.
Knights of the Old Republic.
I was going to say, because he wasn't like 900 years old or
They'll,
something like that.
they'll have a young Yoda story, and that stuff from Knights of the Old Republic is what we'll see in that universe. And we'll be like, whoa, it's happening. And
Well,
then they can have a concurrent series of Knights of the Old Republic,
I think
and we'll
from a
buy
fan-
everything
yeah,
on
from-
Blu-ray.
from a
No,
fan-
we'll buy it all digitally because Blu-ray will be dead.
I know from a fan perspective, I know Fett and Knights of the Old Republic, I think, are two of the most high demand things
Yes.
fans want to see made into movies. I know they sort of wiped the Knights of the Old Republic out of the canon with the purchase, I believe.
They did, but I heard that they're bringing it back.
Little by little, bringing back elements of it.
I heard they're working on like a Skyrim, a Star Wars like Skyrim, like Knights of the Republic, only even more Skyrim-y, where real open world, exploring this area, and it's all set in Knights of the Old Republic. They do that, and they consider that canon. We're right back to it.
I mean, it's
the
no
story
secret.
from Knights of the Old Republic can be washed away, but they can add the elements like they've been doing with these.
Right. Well, they've like how they brought back Thrawn.
Right.
So if they can do that, they can do whatever they want with characters and.
Did you guys
pieces.
meet Timothy Zahn when you were at C2E2?
Yes.
Yeah, so did we.
Yeah, he was really nice. He's always really nice.
Yeah, I've never met him, and I loved his book, so
Yeah.
I just picked up Thrawn. I'm anxious to get into it.
I think I ran into him.
Chris is giving it a thumbs up.
During Jimmy Mac's party.
Yeah.
That he does, and then ran into him again on the show floor. I met Timothy Zahn when his first book was released. I think it was 92? Heir to the Empire.
Heir to the Empire?
Yeah.
My God, I loved that when I read that.
He was doing
originally.
a signing in Downers Grove, and I had him sign the book when I was there. That was the first time I got to. He was nice even back then.
I remember
Always
when
a
that
good
came
guy.
out. That was like my Harry Potter. Like, I got it right when it came out and read that thing in like one night.
That
like,
Zahn trilogy
oh, it's so good.
was the first set of books, novels, that I ever read cover to cover that wasn't a comic book,
Yeah.
or based on a TV show. Like all those books they tried to make you read in high school, I never
Yeah.
read. I just read the Cliff Notes, watched the movie, and then
These
took the
weren't
test.
just hitting our buttons for Star Wars. They were good Star Wars.
Yes, yeah. And then when
know?
Dark Horse did their comic adaptation, it was fantastic.
Great stuff. Yep.
You know, but yeah, it was good. It was. I think there's no secret that a franchise like Star Wars, with the legs that it's had over the years, is and it's created this wealth of a universe that is limitless as far as what it can be explored.
Right. I agree.
You know,
I agree. There's so many different ways you can go about this, so many different approaches. I can't reveal something on here, but I'm actually working on a Star Wars project.
Okay.
Can't reveal it here.
Oh.
Yes. I can share it afterwards. It's
Okay.
an untapped area that you guys will probably like, that's so cool. And I'll probably get sued for it. So I don't want to run out of time. I know we got more to talk about, but I don't want to run out of time. I want to talk about two things.
Yes.
And then we can talk about everything else. The show. Explain again, how can people consume this show?
so the show is called Real Fans of the Saga, and right now
And you're both on it.
we're both on it along with Chris and our another friend Bo, and our wives are also sort of.
And your wives are on
in
it,
there as well.
begrudgingly, yes.
Kids too.
Right. So
And kids, okay.
it will. Right now, if you go to the Real Fans of the Saga Facebook page, there's a link to download the episodes. They're $1.99 per episode. There's 4 of them available right now. We're kind of on a bit of a 2-week hiatus, and then episode 5, and the rest of them will get released. I think it's I want to say a 10 or a 12 episode season.
Okay.
And then we are a go for season 2, that's already been confirmed.
Excellent.
As far as what direction that's going to go, we don't know yet. It's still
Now, do they
still in the
follow?
works.
Does Chris follow you around, or are you like?
Yes.
Do they have cameras in your house?
Well, no, we don't. We film things sort of as we kind of when we know we have something coming up, we start rolling film just to kind of catch whatever happens.
Yeah.
Events like Star Wars Days in Joliet or the Star Wars Night at Sox Park or
So every time I
Celebration.
invite you guys out here for Star Wars at Blue Box, I'm going to have to give you even more warning.
Yes. So for something like that, yeah.
I like how Chris today is writing like, what is this about? I'm like, I've written you 500 times, Chris. And then the best part
Chris is a little ADD, as you well know. So.
Yeah, I know. Well, the best
Liz-
part is he's like, what are these events? I'm like, you've been interviewed on these, Chris. You remember?
Yeah, I mean, he is so bogged down right now, just
He
trying
is.
to
He's
edit
got
the
that
show.
baseball gig going.
Yeah,
and-
he's got so many fires cooking. It's a
Yeah.
little. I'm surprised he can even
Yeah.
walk sometimes.
Hey, Chris, I'm that guy from Kaiser Permanente. It's forgetting Sarah Marshall.
If you have an
Yeah,
Amazon, now the thing about the show is if you have an Amazon Prime membership,
Yeah.
the show is going to be released, I believe, on Amazon Prime
Oh, good to know.
May 25th. The
May
unofficial,
25th.
the official unofficial Star Wars day.
Excellent.
So, which is also Chris's birthday.
Perfect.
So he was born on
Perfect.
the day Star Wars was released. So
Well, that's good to know. I will promote that too.
Yeah.
Get
So that
people
is what's coming
fired
up.
for
Yeah. So that is the big release of the show is on Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
But like I said, right now, if you go to you'll be able to download it there too, just like you can on the Real Fans Facebook page. The first 4 episodes pretty much cover our trip to Celebration Anaheim. And then episodes after that involve things like Chris's 40th birthday and the Star Wars Days of Joliet and a few other different adventures that we went on. So it's going to be it's a lot of fun to watch. It actually turned out really, really good. It's
I'm sure. I mean, I've watched Chris's films.
yeah.
They're excellent.
This looks like something you'd see right after the Kardashians. I mean, it's just one of those kind of shows.
But we're not going to tip
Not
over.
that I'm supporting that.
We're not going to tip over the dinner table.
Now, which Kardashian are you, Alfie?
None.
No.
I'm a Jenner. I'm a Jenner.
More of an Osborne than a Kardashian. But yeah, that's pretty much the lowdown on the show. I'm super excited about it. I can't wait to see
can't wait to watch it. I haven't watched it yet.
We've been working on it for so long, I almost forgotten what we filmed.
I forgot what we've done too.
So when I see it, it's like, oh, that's right, I forgot about that.
The funny thing is that we went to Comiskey for Star Wars night.
Yeah.
And he wore his Cubs fet there. Oh my god.
Oh yes,
Oh,
that's a fun episode.
That's gotta be good.
We don't know this guy. He was getting yelled at, and people were actually taking pictures of us and telling him to get out of the way.
Wow.
Yeah, like, can you get out? Cubs fet. We don't want you.
Wow.
And the bit.
And then-
you can also see in
But that costume is
But
awesome,
then when he
man.
walked by that
It did turn out
restaurant
good.
right on right field, what's the name of that? The dugout, whatever it is.
Yeah.
the patio.
It was like the first prisoner's first day in jail. Like all these people
They're all
screaming,
slamming on it.
slamming on the- You suck. F you. You have
Wow.
Yeah, it
So-
was bad.
That leads us to the other thing I want to make sure we talk about. Mandalorian mashups. I always say it wrong.
Mandalorian mashups.
Mandalorian mashups.
Or Mando mashups for short.
Time I've said it wrong.
So it's still going strong. We had another gathering of mashups at this last celebration. It wasn't as big as the one we had in Anaheim.
Did you guys have a presence at C2E2? Because I saw a couple of fets.
Yes and no. Some of our members were there walking around
Okay.
in their gear, but I wasn't. I did wear my socks on Sunday. I think it was my socks.
I didn't go. Actually.
And my niece wore
No.
her Harry Potter fet. We weren't like. Because we had, I mean, C2E2
I haven't
was
seen the Harry
a week.
Potter fet.
C2E2 was a week after Celebration, so we were pretty beat
Yeah,
from
I bet.
from that. So
I saw some fets and I didn't. They were like over there and I'm over here, and I had a hell of a time getting anywhere because if I went down the aisles, Chris can attest, we would get stopped like all over. We were joking that we're going to have costumes next year.
I like the guys from Mythbusters walking around incognito.
Yeah, I mean, we there was a point when they sent me to go get lunch. I had to go down to the thing, and I walked down that aisle A where, okay, I didn't realize there were. See, the problem is we know all the artists and all that, so that's who was stopping me.
Oh.
Every booth. Oh, Rob, hey, come here. Then I come over and they start talking to me like, oh, how's Molly? How's this? And I'm like, I can't go 10 feet. I can't.
It was
get
part of
anywhere.
it. I had a little bit of that when we were at Celebration, too, because I'm in costume, and it's a lot to get into costume, and then it's also a lot to get out of costume.
Right.
Plus, the stuff you want to see and do while you're at Celebration, so I probably wasn't in costume as long as I would have liked to have been, just because there was other things I wanted to do.
And
Yeah.
I'm the opposite. I don't do anything at celebrations.
He-
I just costume around. I love.
That's it? That's
He
your
just likes
thing?
the...
Yeah.
he-
I don't care about autographs of
I don't either. I'm with you.
or exclusives.
Yeah, I'm a very bad agenda
I don't do any of that.
person.
I just walk around and just hang out.
Which is
Cool.
probably the right way to do it, to be honest with you.
It's what we talked about. I don't do the panels usually because I'm busy talking to artists and artists.
you know what? Even though-
Scott's telling me go to panels.
Even some of the best times in celebration are waiting in line. I hate waiting in line.
Although I did take
I do
advantage.
too.
Yeah,
This-
Timothy Zahn, we had to wait in line forever, right, Chris? Yeah. He kept telling me, you can leave. I'm like, no, I'll stay. Fumble, itch, talk on my phone,
At this last celebration, I did take full advantage of the fact that it was during Easter weekend. So on Easter Sunday during celebration, I debuted the Easter boba. Full bunny costume, with
I
saw that. I
Easter
saw that on
armor,
Facebook.
and ears, a whole 9 yards.
Yeah,
So-
but ironically, it wasn't.
And I actually ran into a Jedi Jesus while I was walking around.
But ironically, wasn't it Lisa
awesome.
dressed up as Smurfette, like a Smurfette?
Yeah.
Got more attention than he did.
Smurfette.
Yeah.
Get it? It's blue with the
I
blue
get
top.
it.
Yes. Only
That's
someone
awesome.
who grew up in the '80s would get Smurfette.
Yeah. She may be making an appearance at the Star Wars Days in Joliet this year.
Nice.
Hopefully.
So how do people join your group?
It's real simple.
Say I.
Yeah.
I state your name.
I want to be a Mandalorian mashup.
Yeah.
Here's the requirements. You want to join a group, but you have to come up with a theme, and we'll try and make it for you. Now, we do have someone to make, and we haven't done them yet. We have Bull's Fett.
Bulls haven't
We're
done
trying
bulls
to
yet.
make a Cylon Fett.
Cylon Fett sounds awesome.
We're trying to get the chrome armor, which is going to be very
Yes.
expensive.
But that sounds incredible.
We have a samurai
There's
Fett.
we're a costume group that's not really bound by a lot of rules and regulations. It's more of a freelance
It binds
costume
and
group.
surrounds us.
So we just unlike the 501st and the Rebel Legion, which do great things for charity and have a lot of gatherings, we're more like the freelancers. So if you can mix Fett with anything, you're in. That's all you got to do. You post it on our page, you're automatically a
You're
member.
in.
So we are looking for.
And I don't care if you make your own helmet, you buy the helmet, or
Yeah.
you get the Toys R Us shelf helmet. It doesn't matter.
We would like to have like a
all I
samurai
care about
Fett
is
would
that you be
cool.
creative.
Yeah, Samurai Fett. Chris was going to do a Dr. Fett or a TARDIS Fett at one point. he
I
was
remember
saying.
hearing something about it. Boba
Fett.
Fett. That's right.
Or a Kim Jong Un Fett,
So I think I did see a Doctor Who Fett walking around. Yeah. I was gonna say. I can't remember if I caught
Because
up with
we
him
have
or
a
not.
couple Deadpool Fets.
Oh, I saw a Deadpool Fett.
Yeah, we have one of those already.
I saw the guy that did. He used a scarf. He was like Renaissance Fett. Have you seen
Oh,
that
yeah.
guy?
No.
I saw him at the Renaissance Fair, but his costume was
Oh yes, I have seen
dynamite.
him. I have
And
talked
he
to
has,
him.
He has a blunderbuss.
Yes, I have talked to him.
Yeah, his is awesome.
Yeah, if you see anybody, please let them know about us. Send them our way.
Is it showing right now? All right. We have to end, you guys.
Okay.
That's
because
fine.
The show's about to start. It's live. So give your social media real quick.
All right, so Mandalorian Mashups at Facebook.com, Real Fans of the Saga at Facebook.com. Also, you can go to ForceAmongUs.com, and that's where you'll be able to find the show. Like I said, Mandalorian Mashups if you want to submit a Mando mashup. Real Fans of the Saga at Facebook if you want to download the show. Also, Amazon Prime, May 25th.
Excellent. Thank you, Sean. Thank you, Alfie. Everybody, Doctor Who is on. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
If you want to donate, we do have a box for Southgate Media Group right there. That supports us. That is not for Blue Box, so if you want to support us, that would be a way to do it. Otherwise, thank you so much. Next week, Tales from the Blue Light will be here. That's it. Follow us on social media. Find out what we do next.